guys, I'm Laura and welcome back to my channel. Today I have my blush collection to share with you. I have all my powder blushes, blush palettes and cream blushes just over here. So we are going to start with the blushes that are in palettes because it's just easier. Start with this guy. This is a La Femme blush palette. It has 12 shades in it. And they are just stunning and beautiful. And I got this from, oh goodness me, I can't remember. It was like Makeup Artist Pro, some pro makeup artist website. And it was really inexpensive. La Femme is quite inexpensive. They used to sell these pans for like less than £5 a piece. I need to check whether that brand is still around. And if they are, I will link them in the info box. So that is my La Femme blush palette. I have a Juvia's Place Saharan Blush Volume 1 palette and I love it. It is so beautiful. These blushes are really super pigmented, so I only need a little bit. These are nice as to add a bit of shine to blushes. These two are great for adding depth and sculpting, and of course you have some pops of colour that you can wash out or you can amp up as you choose. I am considering getting the Saharan 2 blush palette, but we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. I do also have these ones from Revolution Beauty. These are ones that I have actually owned and decluttered and repurchased, and one is a new one that I've wanted for a while and wasn't able to get. So this is the Blush Queen palette. I've owned this before and decluttered it, and I picked it up again because I really missed it. It's just a really nice array of shimmery, cheerful pink blushes. They're really handy for like if you're doing a makeup basket and you just want a bunch of colours, or if you're doing clients or videos or anything. They come in really handy in my life. Obviously, if you're a normal person who's just doing your everyday makeup, maybe not, but in my life, these have a purpose, they have a place. So that was the Blush Queen one. This is the Golden Sugar palette, which I loved this palette when I first owned it. And it's a bunch of like rose gold, golden, tanny colours. And then we have the rose gold, the Golden Sugar 2 palette, rose gold. And it's very, very similar. There are a few, like maybe 1 or 2 duplicate shades in there. But again, I really enjoy them, and they only have 1.5 grams of product in each pan. So it's not, if you were to just focus on them, you could run through a palette like this quite happily in a year, if this was the only blush products you were using. I also have my MAC palette. So in here I have a bunch of loose ones. These are from when I used to do makeup artistry professionally. So we have Margin, Frankly Scarlet, Burnt Pepper, which was always a favourite. I used that a lot on bridesmaids and stuff. And these are so firmly packed, it almost looks like they've never been used. This is another one that was really good. This is Copper Tone. That one I used a lot on people, as well as Swiss Chocolate. Brown, like earthy tones with slight rouginess are like universal. They look good on almost anyone. This is Taupe, which was good for contouring. This guy is Format, which again, good earthy tones, but it has a nice sheen to it. This one has a super strong magnet. This is Raisin. And then we have Harmony, which again, good for contouring. I have a few blushes in here. We have these two are from Max Factor. They are long discontinued. These were the first blushes I ever used. The Flawless Perfection blushes, they were called. This one is in Naturel, I should say. And this one is in Natural Glow. The one I used to use was Classic Rose or English Rose. I went through loads of them. And this is an Elizabeth Arden blush in Soft Plum, which I don't think they make anymore either, and these are just a couple of highlights that are just stuck in here. And lastly, for blush in palettes, where's this one? Is this a blush in palette? No, those are eyeshadows, they shouldn't be in there. So lastly, for blushes in palettes, I have these three here. This is Becca's Flower Child. Yes, Becca Flower Child, and these are Laura Mercier ones that I depotted. They were quite easy to depot, but this one is Tender Mauve, and this one is Wild Bouquet, which I believe, I don't think they make these anymore. They've rebranded and relaunched a new blush line. So these are all three of these, actually everything in this palette is on the chopping block to get used up. So yeah, those are all blushes I have in palettes. Next up, we have my cream blushes, and my cream blushes have kind of flourished recently because I'm very into cream blush, and there's a lot of stuff on the market that is now catering to cream blush. Cream blush was really big when I was first getting into my channel. Like, loads of companies did cream blush back in like 2013, between 2010 and 2013, and then it all came about like powder blushes. But yeah, now cream blushes and liquid blushes are back in action. So we have my Revolution Fast Base blushes, which I love these. I say I love them, there's only one that I've actually used, but I love it so much that I wanted the rest of them. So I think there's only like one or two that I don't have. So we have Bloom, which is a nice coral, Bear, which is a nice nudie pink shade, which is one I've used quite a bit of, Blush, which I found confusing when I first got it. I was like looking for the name and I was like, blush, I know it's a blush, but where's the colour name? Lol moment. This is Raspberry. It's a nice deep purpley colour, but it's, again, you can sheer it out. And then you have Peach, which is a really nice, bright, vibrant, clean peach. These are actually massive. They come with 14 grams of product, so they'll take like a good long while to use up. This is from Rosie by Autograph. Rosie for Autograph, Rosie Huntington Whiteley from Marks and Spencer's. This is in the shade English Rose Flush. As you can see, I've used a fair bit of it. I tried to use up last year. I used a fair bit of it. I'm quite impressed with my progress in it. And I don't think they have this range anymore, because I believe Rosie Huntington Whiteley has her own makeup range now. I have one Clinique Chubby Stick. This is in Robust Rhubarb, which is one that I'm panning at the moment. I've used a fair bit of it as well. I'm not sure, I think this is just a sample size of it. Yeah, this one's just a sample size, so it's only got a little bit of product in. The full size ones have lots of product in. I have a couple that are lipsticks. This is a Max Factor Lipfinity lipstick that I lost the lid of, so I just mooshed it up into a pot, and this is the shade Stay Exclusive. And this is a L'Oreal lipstick in Stone that my children mooshed, and I couldn't keep as a lipstick anymore, but I loved the colour, so I mooshed it into a pot. I have another potted one from Max Factor. This is in Soft Copper. This is a beautiful shade. These are beautiful products. These are ones I used to keep all the time in my makeup kit as well. They were actually became popular after Victoria Beckham used them in a fashion show. She used it as an eyeshadow. So super cool. And then lastly, for cream blushes, I have these guys from Makeup Obsession. These are little tubes of mousse blush. Oh, and I do have one super dewy from Makeup Revolution. This is in the shade Flushing for You, and this is super pigmented. We have Pink Sands. They say liquid blush, but it more comes out like a mousse. Purple Dusk, Dune Rust, Sienna Blush, Sahara Orange, and West Peach. So those are my cream blush stash. And then we come on to my powder blush section. So I'm just going to go through one basket and then through the other. It's going to be a bit of a mishmash. So let's get on into it. First of all, I have my Max Factor blushes. These are the Cream Puff blushes, which I think they only do a select few shades of this now. I had all 6 original shades. These two look empty, but it's because their contents is repressed elsewhere. This first one is Alluring Rose. You can kind of get a sense of the colour there. And this one is Nude Mauve, which is actually my second container of Nude Mauve. This is Seductive Pink, Lavish Mauve, Lovely Pink, and Gorgeous Berries. All very, very pretty. I have some Revolution. These are called the Blusher Reloaded. This is in Pink Lady, Sweet Pea. These are difficult to get open sometimes. Rose Kiss, Rhubarb and Custard, and Baked Peach. And I do also have some of the XX Revolution. These are the, does it say what they're called? I think they're just the XX blushes. I'm not sure if they have an actual name. But this one is in the shade Jaded, Fickle, Nerve. That is crazy, that one. Vision, Crank, again very, very bright, and Cliche, a nice bright peachy orange. I have some Avon blushes. These are from the Mark range, which I don't know if they do anymore. This is the Dual Glow in Sweet Talk. I'm actually just keeping these around because I'm planning on frankening a few things, so I think these might be good mixers. And this one is in Just Pinched. And then we have some classic Avon True Colour blushes in Warm Honey, which I actually really like. This one is such a pretty colour. Warm Flush, again, it's such a pretty colour. I love my sort of corally orangey tones. And then we have a Russet. I love my earthy flushes of shades. Here we have the rest of my MAC blushes. So many MAC blushes. I love MAC blushes. This one is in Equilibrium, which is a long time discontinued limited edition shade. We have Warm Soul, which is the old version. It's been reformulated and I've heard it's now a different colour entirely. This is Peaches. I know it's Peaches because it got dinged. This is Modern Mandarin. No, it's not. This is Style. I tell a lie. This is Style. It's a beautiful, beautiful colour. This one here, this one's Modern Mandarin. It's a bit more of an oomph orange. This one is Melba beautiful matte Dirty Peach. This one is Garb, again, a long time discontinued limited edition shade. I freaking love this blush. It was one of the first blushes I ever got, along with this one, Instant Chic, long time discontinued. They were in the same collection, I believe it was in 2010. It was the Prêt à Papier collection. This here is Mocha. Really like Mocha. Love Cloud, just kind of a rosy baby pink shade. Peony Petal, which is more of like a lilac-y pink. Desert Rose, which is one of my all-time favourite blushes. It has a bit of heart pan, unfortunately. And Raisin, which I just love these dark vampy blushes. You only need the tiniest touch, so a pan of it will last you your entire life, but I love it. And lastly, we have Azalea Blossom, which is sort of like a gradient, lilac-y pink to purple. Next up, I have a few blushes that I only have one from the brand. We have my Chanel one. This is in Evocation, which I really like this blush so much. I've had it for donkey's years, at least a decade, I think. But I'm plugging away at it, using it here and there. It will eventually get used up. This one is from number 7. It's in the shade Honey. I don't know if this is still in the range because they've recently rebranded. But again, love this sort of earthy, warm tones. NYX Taupe, which again, I think they've discontinued this entire range. This is not the same taupe that NYX was famous for. This is a bit warmer and a bit darker. But yeah, we have NYX Taupe. And this one is from Primark. This is in the shade Desire. And it's actually really, really pretty. It looks like it's going to be nothing, but it has a really nice warmth on the cheeks. I have my 3 Becca blushes. We have Wild Honey, which this blush, oh, so beautiful. I wish I could have gotten a few packets of this before Becca went out of business. Maybe they'll bring it out in Smashbox. We'll have to wait and see. This is Songbird. I think this is a nicer version of Flower Child. It's more wearable in my opinion. And then we have Blush Copper, which was originally a highlight, but now it's blush. It is gorgeous. So pretty. Next up, I have a really old Revolution highlight. It's in the shade Rose Gold Lights, and it's actually a really pretty shimmery pink blush, very similar to Orgasm. And I've used up my Orgasm, so it's nice to have. Have my e.l.f. blushes. You have 2 of the Luminous Bronze because I bought one and lost it, so I picked up another one. This is very similar to the copper one from Becca. We have Glowy Rose, Radiant Peach, which I think is really, really pretty, and Brilliant Mauve. They're so, so lovely. I also have this duo here in Turks and Caicos. This is something that I've owned before and decluttered and repurchased again. It's more of a bronzer highlight, but I use it more for blushy type purposes. I have my Colourpop blushes. I have this one in Swift. It's my only Super Shock cheek. Really dark and vampy. This one is in Crossroads, and it is a gorgeous sort of dirty peach. and one in Love Story, which is a really nice sort of muted rose. I have another sort of Revolution brand. This is from I Heart Revolution. This is one of their blushed hearts. It's supposed to be a highlighter, but it's too colourful to be a highlighter, so I use it as a shimmery blush, and it's in the shade Triple Blush Cut? No, Iced Hearts. I think it's in the shade Iced Hearts. Who knows? It's hard to tell sometimes with these things. We have my 3 Benefit blushes. We have Coralista, which is just a classic fave. Love it so much. We have Dallas, which has a little ding in it from when the box got inside. But again, it's still beautiful. Really need to use these guys more. And then we have Rock Tour, which I bought when it came out, which I believe was 2014. So yeah, really need to do something with this blush. Get it used. I have a bunch of Estee Lauder blushes. I love Estee Lauder blushes so much. I have really old ones. So this first one here is Sensuous Rose. It is my most loved blush ever. Love it, love it, love it. This is Plush Petal, and it's a gradient one. It goes from pink to like a peachy shade. Here we have Poppy Passion. Again, very nice and vampy, perfect for that flush cheek look. And I believe these are all still available in this new range. They're still called, instead of being called the Pure Color Blush, they're the Pure Color Envy. And this is in the shade Lover's Blush, which again, I've used quite a lot. There's a nice dip going on in there. It's so pretty. I have a bunch of Dior blushes here as well. Is that them all? 1, 2, 3, 4. I think so. So I have this first one here in New Red. It's very, very bright. This is one of their old ones in Bois de Rose, which I'm currently trying to pan. This is Brown Millie. Beautiful purpley mauve shade. And then we have Beige Nude, which again, it doesn't look like much, but on the face it is just gorgeous. Oh, I have a MAC one that I missed. This is the Beauty Powder in Alpha Girl. Nice coral shade there. We have my Cargo ones, which I think Cargo is very, very limited now. It used to be sold in Debenhams, but it didn't last there long. This is Los Cabos. It is absolutely stunning. This is the Big Easy. A nice coral. It doesn't look like much, but on the face it has a good kick. Plus it's really good for blending out brighter blushes. And then we have Tonga, which is their absolutely most famous shade, a nudie pink shade. And I used to have one, I think it was called New Orleans. It was marketed as a blush, but it was really a highlight, and it was stunning. It was stunning. I wish I hadn't decluttered that one. We have my Sleek blushes, which I decluttered and repurchased them all. I should never have gotten rid of them in the first place. This one is in Suede. It is a very yellowy orange. It's so cool. This one is in Coral, which used to be one of my most favourite shades. Rose Gold, which again is very similar to Orgasm. It's big. It's got a much stronger pink base. Maybe it's closer to Super Orgasm, really. This is Sahara. If I can get it open. It's just beautiful. These ones don't look like they've been used very much because they haven't, but when I originally had them, they had loads of usage on them. And then we have Antique, which is so pretty. It is so unique. It is like a really deep sort of contoury mauvey shade, and it's got like purple shimmer in it, and it's just, it's bizarre and beautiful. I have my NARS blushes. One notable one that is missing is Orgasm, because I did finally finish it up. We have Deep Throat, which I'm still working my way through. It has a nice big bit of pan on there. Again, I've had this blush for like a decade, if not longer. But it is beautiful. I do love it. Do enjoy it. We have Matahari, which is a nice blue toned pink. We have Douceur, which I've scraped a bit out to use, and I've used up that, so I might depot some more. We have Gina, which is my newest one, because it still has this guy in it. And lastly, we have Sin, which is kind of similar to Vintage from Sleek, but it just doesn't, it's not quite as browny, if that makes sense. And then lastly, I have my Lancome blushes, which are so underrated. I wish more people knew about these. This is Rose Espigal, which is a beautiful, clean, bright shade. We have Rose Sable. Similar, it's just not as vibrant. This is Rose Indian, which I adore. It is just wow. It is just wow. If you were ever going to buy a blush from Lancome, it would either be this one or this guy. This is Brune Roche, which I love. Again, doesn't look like much, but on the face, it is stunning. Stunning. So I'm going to try and link as many of these blush lines as I can in the info box, because my collection is mostly full of older products, sometimes literally a decade old. So some of these I just noticed. Oops, I'm sorry if that's been annoying anyone. I've gone through several declutters for my collection. What I have is the stuff that's really good, stuff I really love, things that I've repurchased because I've missed them, because I got rid of them just to get rid of things. But I've missed it so much that I went and repurchased them, which I feel says a lot. Anyways, thank you guys for watching my blush collection. I hope it wasn't too long, and I will see you for the next installment of my collection overview and my next video. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.